Hi, hello, how are you all? It's me Vidya. So today I would like to show one of the videos from our trip to Napier. So this is about the Arataki Honey Center. It's a very nice place for you if you are interested to know how the honeybees work, how does they look from close, and you want to identify what how does a queen bee look and all. This is a very nice video. So let's get started. So this is the Arataki Visiting Center. A must visit if you are going with kids and also for yourself. I only knew one type of honey, and actually I didn't know there will be multiple different types of honey until I came to New Zealand. So after coming to New Zealand, I myself, from when I went to supermarkets and all, I knew okay, there are some 3 to 4 varieties of honey. But then when I came here, I have seen so many products that they do with honey. There are different products, soaps, creams, body scrubs, everything made of honey. And they also have 8 to 9 different kinds of varieties of honey, which we also get to taste. And then I have saved that to the last of honey. The honey tasting is in the last. That is really interesting and exciting as well. But I'll run you through the rest of the place. So first there is an interesting stop which had a microscope. The honeybee itself, the larva, the egg and all, they kind of stored them in a resin form that we can actually use the microscope which is there to see them in detail in zoom. And my daughter how she really enjoyed, and the same with me as well. I also enjoyed having a look at them even more close from the microscope. And after that, there is a glass chamber. It is full of honeybees. There are queen bees. If you know any bit about the honeybees and how they work, it is usually the other honeybees that work, but the queen bee is like, it doesn't work, but it is kind of a leader for that hive. There is a particular, the queen bees in this particular boxes are marked in color. So there, so if you see the green one, that is a queen bee. So similarly, I will show you a close look of another queen bee which is marked in white here. So if you see, it looks a bit different to what the other honeybees around it look. So the other honeybees around it are all the worker bees, but the middle one is a queen bee. See, it looks different to the others if you see the closer shot where my finger is pointing to. And it was really exciting for me as well, because I've never seen honeybees so close, because usually if you see them outside you will run away, but you know, this is my first time seeing them nicely closed and very close, because they are in a glass chamber and able to identify what is a queen bee and what are the other bees. So it was really good for me as well. And then there is a next chamber. There is, if there is a bee, particularly they asked to identify if you can identify a bee carrying pollen, because this is a very important activity of the honeybee. Usually the female bees carry pollen from one plant to plant. That way it supports the ecosystem, the plant ecosystem as well. And the second point is the pollen which they collect from the plants, they also carry it to the hive and they use that as their food. So they usually use that for feeding. And if you see this particular honeybee which I'm pointing, it is carrying that pollen on its legs. They have kind of sacks or bags at their legs, honeybees. So they fill up this pollen in their legs and they carry it back to their hives, and sometimes they drop a little bit and do this pollination on the other plants as well. I only got to know that the different variety of honey is based on the plant where the honeybee gets the honey from. So the main honey and the most costliest honey here in New Zealand is the Manuka honey. So 250 grams of Manuka honey can cost you more than a few thousand rupees actually. So it could cost more than 2000 rupees, just 250 grams of Manuka honey. They say you can just take a spoon of Manuka honey, and it is really very good for children also, after maybe they are 1 year old. So, and there are also different kinds of honey, but honey in New Zealand will usually be in its purest form. So whenever I go to India, I take honey. I make sure I take honey for most of my family, because it's very pure, and it is also good for your health, especially when it is having Manuka blend in it. The last exciting part is the honey tasting itself. We need to book it with the reception that we want to do honey tasting, and whenever there is because it goes in a first come first serve order, so we'll be put in a queue. They'll actually send you in a group of 3 or 4, because we are 4 already. They sent us in a group. So usually you will spend about some 10 to 15 minutes there. They don't actually tell this is the limit and you need to come out or something there, but that it's just our consciousness. If we are done, we just came out. But the tasting itself, I really liked it. I got to taste all the different varieties of Manuka, not Manuka honey, but all the different kinds of honey that is available. I heard if you see crystals in a honey, I heard that it is not pure honey, it is mixed with sugar, that is why it is having crystals. No, the honey also gets crystallized. I got to know here there is a crystallized honey, there is a free flowing honey, and if you mix the crystallized and a free flowing honey, then you will get creamy honey. So there are these 3 kinds of textures other than the 8 to 9 different flavors of honey. See, so much of information I give you. So I really enjoyed with the honey tasting as well, and the experience itself was really good. So please make sure that you visit this center when you're heading to Napier. So take care everyone. See you next time. Bye bye.